I'm sorry. Is that you saying we're ready to go on the recap?
I think so.
Are you live? I'm sorry. I didn't know that you had popped that up already.
It's all good.
We're all ready to go.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, can you still? No, fuck. All right, whatever. Damn it.
No,
That
we
was a
can't see your
conversation.
flashlight.
No, now it's the light is glaring. I'm like, forget it. I'll take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it later and show you guys.
Yeah, show me later.
I promise.
You're gonna leave it out, and then you're gonna need a cold mug one day, and then you'll just feel absolutely awful.
Oh.
I'm gonna be like, oh no.
I know.
When you could have had a silicone pint, it would have held the coldness, you know?
I'm sorry, Vale. I didn't want a Fortnite cup, okay?
Ooh.
This is getting unnecessarily heated right now.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think we need to take a step back.
We're heated, ready to go.
Are we gonna roll for initiative right off the bat here? Some PvP.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to go on one here. So cool. Yeah, no, we can go ahead and do a recap. Make sure everyone's up to speed. So last session, it started off with you guys waking up from the inn with a I guess I don't want to say a mission, but more so a message to go down to the Emerald Enclave's quarter down in the southern ward. Go ahead and do something. You're not 100% sure of what exactly is required. You just know that there was a cat that was talking to you, and so quite intriguing. You guys decided to go down there and just see what was going on, and that's when you met Millinor Fellbranch, a messenger. The Emerald Enclave that let you guys know that there's been some disturbances happening actually outside of the city of Waterdeep. Seems like that there's some scarecrows or some sort of animated things just kind of ravaging the surrounding areas, killing livestock, destroying barns, burning down almost entire little settlements all throughout the area. And so you decided to investigate. On the way, as little goblins do, you were ambushed by some goblins. However, you were able to go ahead and dispatch of them as you made your way further out towards the city to go ahead and see what exactly the disturbance was. Once you got there, you were greeted by a few different people, one of which ended up giving you stay for the night. And that's where we kind of pop up. It's now the morning time. Seems like that the morning kind of went without incident. And all that you guys know is from a bit of, I don't want to say intel, but more so just from what you've heard from a few people. It seems to be maybe a few different people that are kind of have their hand in everything that's kind of going on in the area. You're not 100% sure. You're getting a few different names. Possibly from someone named Yolana. There's also someone by the name, let me go ahead and pull it up. I forget the name on that one. If anyone has it written down.
I don't.
There's Yolana Dursel.
I definitely don't have it written
Read
down.
through it.
I'm finding it right now. There were two names, yeah.
I was taking notes
I've
initially, and
read through
then
this so many times.
Orlasa
I
Darkwood.
Yes, and Orlasa Darkwood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, so possibly a few different names of people that could have something going on. But you stayed the night at Jeb Kettlefish's barn as a little bit of a safety for the night. And morning time comes about. The sun's kind of rising over the hills to the east, kind of shining over the property, and you still get a little bit of a scent of kind of smoldering ash that just kind of seems to be wafting through the farms and through the area.
Okay.
The honest gentleman, I wasn't expecting that night to go as smoothly as it did. Based on the stories we were told, I was expecting perhaps these creatures to raise their heads and perhaps make some mischief, and we might be able to track them down to their source.
Maybe we should set out and see if there were any burnings over the night while we were sleeping.
I agree. And I'm going to go ahead and just have a quick bite of the last remaining rations that we picked up from the...
Same.
You're able to
Except for
score off
Meg.
of the goblins.
Yeah.
Ground score food.
Cool. As you guys woke up, it doesn't seem like there's too terribly much commotion. It's pretty early in the morning. Seems like everyone's kind of stirring as well. You guys could go ahead, explore the town a little bit more. If you want to go on and try to possibly find any of the two people that you were kind of sent to go ahead and figure out what exactly is going on, you could do that. It's kind of an open field here.
We were mentioned this Yolanda. Or what was it? What was her name again? I'm sorry, I completely forgot.
Slowly breaks
Yolanda.
character.
Slowly breaks character.
Who was it again? Joanna?
Luana.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So Luana or your Lhasa.
Got it.
Lhasa. Which one was the one that was supposed to be in town? Was it
So that was Urlasa Darkwood. She was the one where the barkeep that you kind of found amongst the where you were fighting the goblins. She's the one that mentioned that she was the innkeep and kind of a barkeep, and this person came in kind of demanding some various ingredients that she wasn't able to produce because she didn't actually have it. And that's where Urlasa ended up saying that she would get some sort of revenge of some sort. Not sure what exactly it was. The other person, Yurlana, that's the one where there are possible verified rumors that she ended up killing her husband.
okay? That was the one that was outside
some
of
point.
town.
Mm.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. From what you've been able to gather, she seems to be one that's actually outside of the immediate town area.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe. Go check into Joanna in town and see what she's on.
Yes. Perhaps we should be cautious. She may be a potential spellcaster. Seemed like she was more than capable of dispatching her husband and has quite a vendetta. But this other individual also concerns me quite a bit. Just the description alone is a bit foreboding.
Okay. What do you boys feel like doing?
Perhaps we can get some better directions about to find Olana. She seems to
Okay.
be the most concrete source of information. This other individual seems to have vanished as quickly as she had come.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's go.
That sounds good to me.
Cool. I'm on board.
Do we see anybody in the immediate town area that we might be able to, ask for general directions?
Yeah, there are some people that are up in the morning. This is kind of a self-sufficient area, so there's a lot of people kind of tending to their crop in the morning. Some immediate people that are, kind of feeding the chickens, getting everything ready for the day. Jeb is there. It's the person that you were staying at. He is right outside the barn as well. And then there are a few other characters attending to everything.
Okay.
Jib, perhaps you could point us in... We, first of all, appreciate you letting us stay in your your cottage
Accommodations.
accommodations. Forget what
It's
we
a
were saying.
barn.
It's a barn.
It's a barn. We slept on hay, my guy.
It smells like poo.
We were next to cows and horses.
What
What do you think this is?
this ain't no Ritz Carlton. Would you perhaps know this Ilana Dirtsoul? Is she? Do you know where she might be staying at the moment? We wish to ask her some questions.
Of course, she has the country home just up the way. I would assume that she's there. I haven't really seen her all that terribly often, but you really can't miss it. It's a path that's kind of strewn with pretty beautiful flowers, to be completely honest.
Well, we appreciate it, sir.
Flowers.
We'll go ahead and take our leave then, and see if we can find this individual. But again, we appreciate your hospitality and the accommodations.
Of course, if you need another place to stay, don't hesitate for cost, of course.
We will certainly keep that in mind. Gentlemen, while the light is still upon us, I think we should probably head that way.
Sounds good. Let's roll.
Let's get going.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of the horses and go ahead and saddle up.
Fly.
Samesies.
Yeah, so it doesn't take you long to actually get to the path that kind of leads to the house. It is very, very close to town. As you come a little bit closer, you do get a scent of just fresh flowers, but almost like several different kinds wafting through. It seems exactly what Jeb was telling you is 100% true. The trail to the house itself, it's very well cut out, but on either side there are flowers, and it seems like almost thousands of different kind of flowers all throughout. It's a very lush, bright, beautiful field. Seems very, very well kept. It's not just a lot of overgrowth of flowers. They're in very meticulous rows and columns of flowers of all different colors, but very, very coordinated in a sense. As you kind of peer out, you do see a few different scarecrows, but it does seem to be placed in an actual logical sense. They don't seem to be animated or really kind of deadly in any sort of form or fashion. But there are several kind of scattered throughout the fields itself. But as you continue up the path, you do start to see a little bit of a nice little cottage and almost like a country home. It's a little bit disheveled in a sense, kind of half kept up. See it off in the distance.
These flowers that we passed by, are any of them smokable?
Pretty sure if we were to treat it like the 70s, you can really smoke anything if you really want to.
Okay.
So
I like where we're headed.
Well, I mean, some could be medicinal, some could be for fun.
I'm gonna roll a medicine check and
there you go. Yeah, sure, I'll allow it. Shit.
all 1,000 flowers and then 1,000 rolls.
I would like one weed, please.
We checking.
Oh, wait. I have +5 on medicine?
Same.
Oh, let him
Okay.
in.
Let's
You have
go.
the same.
Yep.
An absolute
Okay.
expert.
I must have thought of this as I was building my character. I mean, this is not that far-fetched, so.
This is happening one night. Without failure. This is happening.
Go ahead, Vale. You can roll.
Oh.
You said first.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we get. 17.
Okay.
For medicinal herbs.
Yeah, so it seems like that possibly just from your, I guess, expertise of just what you know about different sort of medicinal plants and just kind of what goes into a lot of potion making. There are a few that you do end up seeing in the field. It seems like there's some common ones like milkweed as well as lavender just kind of scattered throughout. You also see some that are a bit less common to find. There are a lot of these plants that you don't know just because of the vast spread of them. But you do see some like ginkgo brush and bloodgrass, just a few different ones, and you know that they are used a lot in different sort of we'll go ahead and say medicinal purposes.
Okay, we're gonna pick some of that. Yeah, grab some of that for later use.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and mark it down.
Cool.
Perhaps brew a nice beer with that. With some delicious edibles.
Now we're talking.
You would know that if you picked up the ginkgo flowers, any time that a healing effect is brought upon you, it essentially doubles. So, someone heals you for 2, it's to 4. That sort of thing. It just ups your healing.
Okay, so you gotta eat it. You gotta eat the ginkgo flower.
Consume it in some form or fashion. Yes.
Okay. Alright.
This has to get into your bloodstream. However you want to do it is up to you.
Just have a nice campfire and toss a few of those in there.
Nice. I'm gonna give my boy Leghorn over here some of the flour.
Thank you.
Pass it on over.
Swoops down and grabs it and continues up in the air.
Yes.
He's like, "Give me my-" There it is.
Nice.
Almost as if this was planned in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
There you go, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
I see.
Hell yeah.
Gotta calm down before a fight.
Yeah. Take that off.
We're all getting lit.
Let me focus.
That's the only reason why I'm not partaking right now, because I don't want a hindrance right now if I'm supposed to be your tank. I'm basically how I feel right now. I feel like because I'm the tank, I'm the fucking designated driver for you guys.
Not only are you the tank, you're also the paladin. So it's very fitting.
Yep.
I'm not a fucking clean paladin. Let's just fucking put it that way.
As far as those scarecrows, were they wearing anything out of the ordinary? Anything that looked like potentially dangerous items on them or hanging from them?
No, from what you could see, it looked like just a regular scarecrow that someone put out in the field to kind of keep something, whether it be vermin or crows, other birds out of there. Some of them seem to be doing a better job than others, as there were some that were kind of just like hanging out on the shoulders. Looks like that one that's kind of getting closer to the house. There's a few different crows that are all kind of actually perched on top of it.
Okay.
And how many of those scarecrows? Is that something we would have noticed, or?
Yeah, that would have been something that you would have taken note of for sure, especially since you're kind of on high alert from them. Throughout the field, it is pretty vast. You're not 100% sure if you see all of them, but it seemed about 10 or so different scarecrows.
Okay. They don't seem ominous at the moment, but I would perhaps be on your guard if you see anything that looks odd, gentlemen.
Maybe we should check into these. Check them out. See if there's anything going on.
You never know. There's always an opportunity to hide something inside of a bale of hay or a figure of such. You said we were pretty close to the home at this point, or?
Yeah, as the morning fog starts to lift, it seems to be coming a bit more into view. If you were to go ahead and take a random guess, you're probably maybe about 2,000 feet or so away from it.
Okay. I might try and do a roll of some sort to see if there's anything going on with these crows. They're being magically controlled to like watch us, from inside.
The crows or the scarecrows?
The crows. I'll do the crows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're checking to see if they're like being controlled in some way, is what you're saying, right?
Some sort of magical presence about them. Yeah, basically seeing if they're being controlled or if they're summoned or something like that effect.
You have detect magic, or does anyone have detect magic at all?
I do, but it will cost me a spell slot to use it.
I either detect. Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah, I don't have it. Damn. Never mind.
So
I have divine sense.
Religious stuff.
I can detect good, I can detect good and evil. That's really it. Says you can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I don't have detect magic. Oopsie.
Yeah, just because you're not trying to do any sort of like recollection of like magical lore or types of spells or anything used, that would kind of fall in Arcana. Detect magic would be like, I'm trying to see if these things are being manipulated by magic in some way.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Sounds good. I'm just like, never mind. Cancel.
You can still give it the old college try if you want. I can't make any guarantees here, but
Good. Yeah.
As we're approaching, does any of the foliage appear to be changing as we get closer to the house or draw closer to the structure, or get closer to any of the fields in general?
as you get closer around the actual cottage, you seem to see almost like a walking path going around it. The flowers and that kind of come up to a point and then immediately stop in a line. Seems to almost be like a perfect rectangle, almost encompassing the actual cottage itself.
These are quite well placed flowers. Either she's quite the engaged gardener, or there's...
I got respect for that. Got a little respect for that. It's some hard work. Maybe
we were told by the Emerald Enclave that this person was an ex-druid or still practices. So it would make sense, but it does give me a bit of caution. This person is indeed the one we're looking for. Is there any sign that somebody's actively in the cottage, like a fire or smoke coming from it, from a chimney or sounds of morning activities from this distance as we kind of approach the structure?
Yeah, so there is a small chimney, and it does seem like there is some white smoke coming out of it. Not sure as to what capacity. It almost seems like it would just be someone that's almost cooking, getting some sort of fire started for the morning itself.
Okay. Well, what do you boys think? Should we just knock on the door and
I think that'd be
See
a
what
good start. Maybe
doesn't seem like we can sense anything awful going on or outside. Everything seems to be pretty what we were expecting coming here.
I'm gonna casually stroll up, but staying a tad bit reserved, but casually knock on the door and calmly, is anyone home? Hello?
Yeah, so it takes a little bit of time, but suddenly a little thing on the door actually slides, and it's almost like a peephole, and you just see this eye kind of peer out, and you just hear this almost frail voice coming from the other side. Who is it?
Are you perhaps Luana?
Yes. Ask who you are.
We're travelers, and we were just exploring the area and wanted to. We told you were perhaps a druid in another life or another age, and we wanted to come and see if you had any wares that we might be able to purchase. Your flowers are quite beautiful. We wouldn't mind being able to peruse them if there's something you wish to sell or trade.
Yes. Suddenly the little peephole kind of closes again, and you hear a bit of rumbling and scratching on the other side, and suddenly the door opens, and you do see this older woman. It's small, probably in the 5-foot range. She does have long gray hair, and then she just kind of looks at you and just says, "I don't get many visitors anymore. Most people stay away from my cottage."
Well, we're travelers, and we're a rather odd bunch ourselves, so we tend to peruse the less beaten paths of the world and try to explore the interesting things that may not yet be found. And we came across your cottage and noticed the beautiful flowers, and we were told by some of the villagers that you were perhaps once a druid in another life, and wanted to see what you might be able to trade as we continue on our journey.
Sure, I'm still alive and still a druid. I suppose we could go ahead and look through the field if you would like. She takes a little cane out from behind the door, and she strolls out, and didn't know there were more than just one of you. Hi. Nice to meet you. My name is Erlana.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
My name is Kai, and these are my companions. Gentlemen, would you like...
Kind of bows at you. You seem like a druid yourself.
You would be correct.
You seem like an interesting bird of some sort.
It's a caw.
I make chicken.
I'm a bird who fries birds.
You seem like a pretty well-built individual.
Oh, thank you. I am a well-built bird. I know he was talking to the tank.
He just had to cut me off. He's just like, wait, let me get in there.
Oh,
You
she's still
like that
talking about the bird,
compliment,
right?
Of course, dear. You're not so bad yourself.
Tenach, I know you were interested in some of the herbs and flowers earlier, and you may be more versed in these things than I am. Is there anything that you noticed that might be exceptionally different that we might be able to purchase that we might not find in another area?
Well, what are we looking for? Like
Perhaps
healing herbs or
healing things of a more unusual nature, things that perhaps can be combined with an inanimate object to breathe life into it.
some kind of resurrection herbs, something that sort. Okay. Well, Matt, we are looking for some peculiar herbs. If you happen to have any, or looking for some rare healing herbs, or anything that could be used for any kind of resurrection of a fellow comrade, or maybe some stuff to brew beer with, something along those lines.
Some we can use for the brewery. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we did just buy a pub, so we are looking to make some beer.
Oh, my husband used to enjoy beer quite a bit back in the day. I do have some things, and she kind of leads you all very slowly down some paths into the field, and she's just kind of picking up things one at a time, not really telling you what they are, as she's just kind of muttering to herself. She looks around, and eventually she kind of has a handful of several different things, and she says, I'm not sure if you can use these necessarily for brewing beer, but find that some people that partake in that are also decent in other alchemy and enchanting. And she hands you a few different things and just kind of tells you what they are, and she hands you some arrowroot and tries to explain that it's really good for adventurers, because it seems like their weapons just seem to hit a little bit harder if you apply it to the weapon itself. She hands you some stuff and just kind of explains, oh, these are all used for potion making, and it gives you some things that are not necessarily hard to find. She gives you some silica branches, which she explains helps you with some just basic athletic feats. Some tail leaf, which can make you just a little bit faster. And she says, oh, this one's quite rare, actually. And she says, this is luminous cap dust. And she explains that it actually just makes you feel... just makes you feel a little bit more... a little bit stronger, almost like you can take on a little bit more than usual.
Okay. Well, how much do we owe you for all this?
Oh, I don't get many visitors. It can be on the house. I have quite a bit, but I would hate to send you off on your way without stopping in for some morning tea. I was just getting ready to brew up a pot if you want to join me.
I'll take you up on that.
Sounds lovely. You seem like quite the knowledgeable individual. Might I ask why you don't sell your services as an herbalist or a potion maker a bit closer to town, or is it just curiosity.
After my husband's death, I just have a lot to tend to. Don't get much help these days, but I do what I can. I have a little bit of a green thumb, you could say.
Clearly. And my condolences for the loss of your husband.
Oh, thank you. It was quite sudden. He continues closer to the closer up the path, just towards the cottage again.
Is there anything odd about the building that we may not have noticed on the first pass? Or is there anything etched into the wood or anything growing on it that seems unusual?
Nothing terribly unusual. It's a little bit worse for wear. Not that it's in disrepair or anything of that nature, but it almost seems like it's just not. It's just not as upkept that it possibly could be. There are some vines and some ivy kind of growing on the outside of the large brick walls. A little bit of rotting wood. Some of the like the front coverings and front awnings that kind of hang off of the house itself. But outside of that, it doesn't seem like anything's necessarily weird or odd about the place.
Okay.
It's quite a cozy little cottage out in the wilderness you have here. It's definitely secluded and calm place to collect your thoughts in the morning. It's a lovely home.
Yes, I'm able to get up, and I'm a little bit slower these days, but I'm able to have everything I need up this way.
Oh, I never would have guessed. You seemed like you were quite spry as you gathered those herbs. Like you knew exactly where to go.
You flatter me, dear. Please come in. She opens the door.
Okay.
I'll calmly walk inside.
Same. I'm ready for some tea.
Seems like that there's a small rectangular table kind of set up in the corner, almost a little bit offset, allowing people to go ahead and actually have a seat at it. And she invites you to have a seat, and she proceeds to grab small little plates and puts little mugs, and surprisingly the mugs themselves have a very nice floral pattern about them. And she sets them in front of all of you and just says these are real special mugs. They don't actually get hot at all, and condensation builds up on the outside for cold beverages. Quite lovely.
Oh,
Sounds
Abraxos.
Ben.
I like one of these.
Sounds
Yes.
excellent for warm ale, ciders, and the cold. I meant ciders. I meant ciders.
Nothing like a warm ale.
It looks like warm
Oh.
ale and
Yummy warm
Oh.
ale, my favorite.
Woo!
Warm ale and a nice cold cup of tea.
Yummy, yummy.
In the morning. Warm ale.
Nothing like warm beer to warm me in the morning.
Oh man.
Alana, would you perhaps we've heard rumors of some odd things going on in this this area. I'm hoping you've managed to remain safe and haven't succumbed to any of these strange goings on in the past few weeks. One of the townsfolk mentioned some rather interesting things, some arson of all things. They seem to have lost quite a bit of their home and their livelihood, and was on the way to Waterdeep when we ran into them recently. I hope that you haven't encountered any of these strange things.
She turns and the kettle's whistling in the back, and she takes it off of her stove and just says, I've heard about that, and unfortunately it has kind of wafted throughout my my fields here, and thankfully, being a friend of nature, I'm able to go ahead and get some assistance from some of the creatures. They're able to warn me a bit, and suddenly one of the crows that you saw perched on some of the scarecrows flies onto an open window, and she says, there's one of them now, and she goes ahead and grabs a berry out from a cupboard and kind of throws it over to the crow itself. And she continues to start pouring tea into the mugs.
Are you perhaps there was an odd individual. Forgive me, my memory's been a bit fuzzy since yesterday evening. We did sleep in a barn, so I'm a tad fatigued. Didn't get the most wonderful sleep last night, but there was what was that name? A dark something. Gentlemen, do you recall the name of the I'm kind of stammering on. Yes. We were mentioned that there was she made an appearance around the time that some of these strange incidents were occurring. Are you perhaps familiar with this woman?
She was one of my friends when I would regularly go into town, but haven't heard or seen her in quite some time. I'm not quite sure who that could be, and what she's been up to as of late.
She seemed. We met an individual who gave us lodging the other night, and he had mentioned that she strolled into town recently and was rather irate about not finding some items for sale at the local inn. Seems rather odd to be searching for goods at an inn, designated for passers-by and travelers, perhaps just looking for a bite and a comfy bed. Is she always that way, or is this something strange just for the recent weeks?
Not since I've known her necessarily. She knows that she could always come to me depending on what she was looking for. It's not like I don't have an abundance of things here. I don't know why she would have went into town and necessarily done anything. What are people saying that she did going in and looking for these things?
Well, that's what we're just curious, as some conversation, and they were mentioning that she had threatened somebody in town, which seems rather odd. And then shortly thereafter, the establishment was burned to the ground. Seems rather odd, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. Certainly she wouldn't do anything unless some other people had been indignant with her in some form or fashion. I can imagine that someone would just change like that all of a sudden.
Is the has she already handed us all tea, or is it or is she still
Yeah.
fixing it?
No, she had actually went ahead and went around the table and kind of poured each of you filling up the actual mugs themselves.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a big whiff of the tea. Just, is there anything strange about it? Does it any odd smell to it, or does it just smell like herbal tea of some kind?
It does smell like just an herbal tea, not necessarily something that you have smelled before. It seems almost exotic in a way.
I like that exotic. I already took a sip or two of mine. We're already drinking. Yeah.
I'm gonna take a slow sip of the tea as well.
Okay. I mean, it's a good tasting tea. It almost almost has a flavor of what you would expect like a honeysuckle almost tastes like in a sense. It's very floral, slightly herby, but very, very floral and very kind of sweet in a sense as well.
Sounds good, honestly. Give me some of that.
This is a lovely morning tea. You are quite a wonderful alchemist yourself, Ilana.
He kind of turns and just says, that's just the nature of being a druid. You just kind of learn about plants and you learn what's good and it's bad for some. She stops and kind of says, I'm sorry again. Who exactly did you say you were?
We were simply travelers. We were passing by. We're on our way further north. We had offered our services to some individuals who had come in contact with a band of goblins and recently, and managed to dispatch those awful little critters. As I'm sure you're aware, they're really only good for stealing whatever isn't nailed down and killing anyone that won't release it. But we're traveling north, looking for interesting items and gathering ingredients to take back to Waterdeep for our new business venture.
She kind of stops and opens up the drawer and hands another berry to the crow that's sitting on the windowsill again, and she just says, one of the benefits of being so old is you learn a lot, and you definitely get to learn when people aren't necessarily telling the truth. Can I ask you again, and I would love it if you could be honest with me, why did you come here?
I don't like the sound of it.
Come. You can be truthful with me.
I put my hand on my sword. I'm sorry, my war pick. I don't take it out. I have my hand on it, ready to go, just in case.
Well, I hate to be a dishonest individual. It's not something I like to gather myself around. So I'll be frank.
Hi, Frank.
He's lying again. His name is Kai.
We were told that you may be involved in some of these strange goings on in this area. I'd rather hope that's not the case, Olana, as you've been a lovely host, but we are contracted to ask about these incidents, and if at all possible, keep more of these incidents from occurring. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Does. I'm always wondering possibly why someone would come to my home after, from what I understand, rumors that go around. I told you that I necessarily don't go into town all that often, but possibly I'm able to disguise myself and make my way into town without other people knowing exactly who I am.
When she says that, do I sense any level of deceit in her words? Like she's trying to hide something?
Oh, what exactly do you mean by that?
Is she, when she says she can go in and disguise herself, is she, well, I take that back. Sorry, ignore that. Alana, are you familiar with some darker creatures in this area that are perhaps causing these incidents, or the person perhaps directing these creatures to do harm to others?
She looks down and opens up another drawer and seems to grab out another berry and kind of a set of herbs, and she says, of course I know possibly of what could be happening in the amongst the city. The one thing that I've always been sure of is that I protect myself first and foremost, and just say that there's a lot of people that possibly want to cause harm to someone that seems to be a bit of a recluse. I know exactly what's happening around the town because, and she just kind of shrugs and just says, I'm the one causing them. And suddenly she hands another berry to the crow and then throws down the herbs that she just got. Suddenly before your eyes, the crow actually seems to transform into a brown bear, and it's now in this small little cottage with you. And from the herbs, suddenly smoke seems to just kind of come off of the actual floor itself, and you see three things that seem very almost organic and dirt-like in nature, as they have spikes actually coming off of them. And suddenly all the things kind of turn at one time, and she just says, again, you don't know who you can trust. And these things seem to actually start to lunge at you. So what, we need to make initiative rolls.
Yes, sir.
Damn you, Rwana.
Let's go, Granny.
The deceit.
Oh.
The lies.
7.
You know what? I'm gonna roll hard on this one. I'm going dice. Ugh.
15.
7.
You said
That'd be a 10. Yeah.
10 shiny. Okay.
7 for
And
me and 7
for you and ODB. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me see if they have an entry for this thing in roll 20.
Rwana got me messed up. She gave us some delicious tea, hooked us up with some herbs. She's like, nah, man,
Oh.
here's this bear, and fuck
Yeah.
you.
No,
Killing my buzzer, Lana.
she's really rude.
I was big
Um,
chillin'.
why I'm glad I didn't take any of that damn tea. I'm sitting here with my arms crossed, like I don't trust them.
Girl.
I think only 2 of you ended up taking the tea. Well, so Val and Stopper, you guys actually feel really, really slow in the process. We got your actual movement speed has since halved.
Okay.
I learned my lesson with the baked goods.
I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of where my head was at.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't.
I can't turn away tea though. IRL, like I love tea, so I was just like, yes, give me the tea.
No,
Please.
that's fair.
Girl, give me the tea.
Mhm.
That is very fair.
The girl who gave you the tea will now be your enemy.
Bars.
Absolute bars.
Ours.
The bars.
Of course, they don't have an actual photo of this thing in Roll20 unless I buy some shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste it into the Discord real quick. So you see these things. These are the ones that kind of grew out of the herbs that she ended up throwing. They are called needle blights. And then so there are 3 of these needle blights, 1 brown bear, and then Lana herself, who you get an idea is actually Urlasa as well. Seems like that she might go by a alternate ego. Ego? Yes, I think that's right. It sounds weird. When she goes into town.
Gotcha.
Battle commences. At the table itself, that's kind of in the corner. Everything else in front of you. I should have asked when you guys sat down, how exactly would we be positioned if it was in a diamond shape?
I'd put Abraxos in the front, in the diamond, right?
Go.
Right?
I'm ready.
I'll probably take the left. Maybe? Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Stopper, you want to take the right, and then
I'm
would you be
across
in
from
back?
Abraxos. Yeah.
Okay, cool. This
Let me look
is
up my transformations real quick.
to know. So Abraxos there. And Tenach. Cool, awesome. You guys would have went ahead and definitely, as this is going on, you wouldn't have just sat there and continued sipping your tea. You all kind of get up at the exact same time as this continues. The needle blade itself is just going to kind of go after the thing that's closest. So this one is going to be, the way that it's positioned is the 3 needle blades and the bear. The bear is closer towards the side wall, which would kind of be close to you, Abraxos, and then these 3 needle plates are all kind of standing in front of Urlasa at this point, as she is kind of in the back. But the 1 needle plate immediately goes after you, Abraxos.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to hit at all. 13.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna have to say no, sir.
So suddenly this thing kind of raises its hands, and out of it pops a ton of small needles. And it seems like you instinctually go ahead and you hold up your shield, and all of it kind of just seems to almost pierce into it, as it just kind of seems to go into the wood and almost sinks itself into it.
That's cute. Little ornament. Thank you.
Cool. That would mean that Kai, you are up next here.
I'm gonna stand up abruptly, but feel kind of the numbness of the tea, and say, "Well, if we're gonna start this with magical manipulation, and I'm gonna drag my 2 fingers across the brand underneath my armor, and I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike. As
Okay.
as a bonus action. So that gives me. Hold on one moment.
You give advantage on one weapon attack.
Yep.
Roll that turn.
Yes.
That attack deals an extra 1d8 force damage on a hit.
Yep.
However, your walking speed is now increased by 30 until the
Yeah.
end of your turn. So,
And I don't incur opportunity attack.
okay, cool.
So, as far as layout, I'm to the right. The needle blights, I would assume, then are on my left, and Urlana is behind them, or do I have that backwards?
So, let me go ahead and just do a quick thing here. So this crude drawing is kind of what it would look like. So it's a rectangle. You all would be over here at this table, needle blades, the bears here, and then Urlana is actually behind. So you, based on the positioning that we went over,
Mm-hmm.
would be kind of in the back area then,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Is there enough room I can go around the right-hand side of that table and get enough of an angle to take a shot at Urlana or Lhasa, whatever she's calling herself?
So you could go ahead and do that. It would be at a disadvantage though. However, now you have advantage, so it would just be a straight roll, just because you would be going through these needle blights to try to hit her.
Okay. If that's the case, then I'm going to target the center needle blight with advantage. And I'm going to go ahead and take a strike with my longbow.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh, thank God that was an advantage. This was a 1 and a 19.
You
19 for sure hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Well, plus 19 plus, yeah. So
You're gonna smoke
26.
it regardless. Yeah, go ahead and
Okay.
do a damage roll on this.
so that's two d8s plus 3. 4 piercing and no, I'm sorry, 7 piercing, 5 force damage.
So 7 to 5, so 12 damage.
12 total, yes.
Cool. Yeah, so you go ahead, you to hit this needle blade, you're just shooting an arrow at it pretty much.
Yeah. Just gonna aim center mass, draw back. Since I can't get a clean shot at Lhasa, I'm gonna try to cleave a path as quickly as possible to give the others a strategic advantage to get closer to her.
Okay, cool. So you go and you shot this thing, and before you weren't exactly sure what this thing was, you knew it was organic in some sort of nature. As it kind of hits, suddenly it all kind of splies outward, and dirt and debris, and it seems like small bits of granite and shale and all sorts of different organic material just kind of starts to crumble out from its center as this thing just suddenly falls to the ground and kind of splies out. And it seems like whatever this thing was made of, you were fully able to dispatch it.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I think I've used my movement speed's reduced to, well, it's between 15
Reduced
and
to half,
yeah,
plus
so
30 now.
plus 30, so that's 17 plus 30. So I would say
You're
I
looking at
probably
40, 47.
yeah, about 47 total for the moment. I think I moved about 10 or 15 around the table. I'm gonna go ahead and take 10 feet back beside the table, so just trying to give a little bit of cover.
So you went forward, now you're walking back.
Yeah, step back a little bit.
Okay, cool. So you're almost kind of in a very similar position from where you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So Lhasa all of a sudden just kind of lets out this this weird, hideous, almost cackling. It seems very, but just very evil in a sense, and almost deranged as well in the process. She's gonna go ahead and basically almost target this laughter, almost in what seems like a very direct, almost sound wave, directly at you, Kai, as you're starting to kind of take out some of her creatures that she ended up creating. You suddenly find everything to be incredibly humorous. As you start to just kind of burst out in laughter. Not even like a light chuckle, but almost like uproarious laughter. Beautiful. I am going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom. Okay. 11.
Okay. Yeah, so this is whatever's happening to you is just so humorous that you actually kind of are losing a bit of wind. You're not able to kind of catch up on it, and you slump against the wall and you sit down, still laughing hysterically the entire time.
Oh my god, this is like some laughing gas from the Joker. Holy shit.
Yeah. You are now just kind of sitting on the ground, almost prone. At this point, yeah, this tea is really affecting you. But you are now actually prone on the ground, thankfully in full cover at this point because you were on the opposite side of the table. However, you almost seem absolutely worthless at this point. So.
I'm sorry. It's just it's so funny. It exploded everywhere.
This is surprisingly good fake laughter. And as this is all going on, in a bit of confusion, suddenly this bear starts to lunge forward. And it's just going to go to the closest thing that it can possibly find at this point, which would actually be you, Tenach, as the bear runs up to you real quick and tries to actually bring its claws into you. And it's actually going to go ahead, swipe with both claws here.
Okay.
It's going to be that'd be 11 and a 25.
Oh, 25 hits.
Okay, this is some headbang music here. Oh shit.
Yeah, this just got really hard.
Hey,
all of a
I'm
sudden.
not complaining.
The bear got his own music.
He really did.
Getting heavy.
Cool. So it's going to go ahead and swipe at you, dealing 8 points of damage.
Ooh. All right.
As it just kind of comes down and comes directly across your face and neck, going into your chest.
Damn. Okay. Shit. All right. Sounds good.
Cool. And then, as this is happening, the another needle blight goes to attack you again here, Abraxos, as it can't get any sort of attack on anything else because of this huge bear that's in the way. The same thing kind of happens. It seems to go ahead and actually shoot those same needles as before, and it just seems to strike your shield, not doing any sort of damage to you. Seems like that you are in fact the tank in the group.
Gotta try to live up to my name, baby.
Cool. And then Nosh, you have this gigantic bear right in front of you. What are you gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Do it.
So I've been deciding for the last 10 minutes what I want to transform into, and I'm stuck between giant wolf spider,
Hey.
Giant frog, or an elk, or a constrictor snake.
Ooh.
All good choices.
I think I'm gonna transform into a giant frog.
That's my man.
Yes.
Okay. Ribbit.
And,
Having seen this, I'm just gonna burst out laughing even harder.
like, shut the fuck up. What you know about frogs?
He's so green.
I am going to swing at the bear. I'm gonna try and bite it.
So, sorry, quick question with this. When you are transforming in battle, does that take an action?
Yes, as an action. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so that would be your action. You are a gigantic frog at this point.
Yeah.
Directly in front of it. You could move if you have any bonus actions as being a gigantic frog. You go ahead and do that. Completely up to you. Or if you want to revert back and do something different, you can do that as well.
No, I'm gonna stay as a frog, and so I can still move, right?
You can move. You would take an attack of opportunity from the bear.
Shit.
You absolutely could go ahead and
What if I'm
jumping
jumping?
from it.
What if I'm jumping 20 feet into the air?
So you're jumping straight up.
I'm gonna jump over the bear.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll still take an attack of opportunity from the bear. However, it would give you enough distance to actually get over the bear, over the needle blights themselves, and you would be essentially, depending on where you want to land, directly up against Erlana. So if you want to do that, that's how it would kind of work out.
20 feet is I can jump. I can long jump 20 feet.
Okay. Sweet. That's what you're gonna go with.
Try and jump over the bear as far as I can get in front of Erlana.
Okay. Let me go ahead. It will just be one attack of opportunity. Okay. Okay, so this thing goes to take a swing at you, and it seemed to be startled all of a sudden from a seemingly regular person turning into a gigantic frog. Even though this thing was once a crow, that's now a bear, it still seems to be confused by this whole process. And it goes to take a swing, and actually completely misses as it goes to swing at you. It actually comes down across its own body a little bit. Did roll a natural 1 on this.
Nice. Oh, yes.
What a miss!
And it is going to take 4 points of slashing damage here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Wait,
Put
5
in some work.
plus 4. 6 points of slashing damage, actually. Sorry.
Ooh.
Cool. So you were able to jump over it. You are now directly in front of Blassa at this point, as she is just looking directly at you, kind of confused by the whole process that's happening as well here. She was not aware of your own druidic powers.
Well, now
Well,
you.
that means that we would however you guys want to do this, Abraxos, Foghorn, to roll the 7, however you want to handle this.
Abraxos can go first alphabetically.
Sure. Yeah.
So you still have 2 needle blights in front of you. There is this bear that is kind of on the other side of the table at this point from you. Then seems like Urlasa is now flanked by a gigantic frog.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to go after the bear. So like, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to. I do the needle blight to get like an attack of opportunity since I'm gonna try to bounce.
No, so they're actually kind of further back, trying to make like ranged attacks against you.
Okay. All right. So then, I'm gonna, I'm just gonna go for it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like jump up on the table. I'm gonna like run on the table. I'm gonna try to like slam dunk on the bear with like my war pick. Try to like go after him. Just bow.
Nice.
Okay, I'll let you do it without.
I'll do
an
divine
athletic check.
smite.
Go ahead. Go ahead and give it a whirl here.
Alrighty. Let's see. So war pick time. $18.
Yeah, that for sure hits.
Nice.
So now you're gonna do divine smite top of it.
Yeah, I might as well try to crush this bear's dreams.
Let's go.
Yeah, so that adds extra damage, right? It's gonna be an extra 2d8 of extra damage
2d8.
on top of. Yeah, go ahead and smoke this thing.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna just do it in the roll 20 because it's gonna be a lot faster.
Sure. Let me go back to the chat.
16.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
16, and then my actual damage on here, I'll roll on beyond for that. So
You rolled 2 natural 8s on d8s. That's incredible.
make it 3.
Oh shit.
So I hit this bear for 26 damage.
26 points of damage. Yeah. How do you want to kill this thing? I'll let you narrate it.
So I jump up on the table and I just go. Oh, I'm trying to think how I can word it because this is really epic. Let's see.
Don't mess
Here we go.
up.
I go down and I jump up in the air. I have my war pick out and I yell at him, and my voice echoes since I'm doing divine smite. I yell at him. I go, "Go to hell, you devour beast!"
You plunge the end of the war pick directly into its skull and seem to just shards of bone seems to be flying off of it. Blood, and it seems like little bits of its actual brain is actually coming out of the other side of it as this thing just gets absolutely obliterated as you come out of the other side. Spare just kind of slumps over into one of the chairs as you just absolutely destroyed this thing. and triumphant on the
Guys just laughing.
He turned it into confetti!
I'll let you have some additional movement too if you want to get off of the table at all. You would still have, I would say, 20 feet of movement if you want to do whatever the hell you want.
Okay. So like I'm just like I pull my war pick out of the bear and I just turn towards the witch. I'm just calling her witch at this point, and I point my war pick at her, and I'll just finish my move and just start walking back towards her.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, she is starting to get a bit frightened as it seems like everything's kind of crumbling, in some cases literally around her.
I'd be scared if a giant frog was in front of me.
You got this giant frog and this dude who just melted your bear. Like, jeez.
Yeah.
Just turned your brown bear into a gummy bear.
He's getting eaten right now.
Yeah, it's not looking too hot for Alana here. Would he be? Foghorn, you are up.
So there's 2 of the needle things left.
Yep, 2 of the needle blights and then just 1 witch.
Um. How far away is the witch from me?
The actual distance of this whole thing is right around 20 feet or so.
Okay. I'm gonna fly straight up from my seat. I was at like the bottom of the diamond. And I am going to throw a javelin at one of the needle things.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make an attack.
15 to hit.
15 hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
5 piercing.
Piercing damage. Okay. Did you want to hit the one that one in the middle was dispatched, so there was just one on the left, one on the right? Do you have a care?
Left.
Leftmost. Okay, cool. Awesome. Oh, that's not how math works. Cool. Great. So all this is happening. Needleblade just gets absolutely demolished by an actual javelin just coming straight at it. It doesn't seem like that it made as much damage as before with the arrow. However, it actually takes off part of its arm as its arm hits the ground and just almost shatters into a million pieces.
Nice.
That would mean we're back at the top here. So all of this is happening, and the needle at this point, the one that was on the far right, kind of sees everything going on, but it's going to turn to its actual creator, who is now in front of a gigantic frog, and it's going to go ahead and actually take a swipe at you here, Tenach, as it's going to try to protect the witch here. Not sure what your shit is, but does a 6 hit?
Nope.
No. So somehow, even though it's a gigantic frog, and your back is turned to it, it goes to take a swipe, and it seems like that possibly your weird reptilian skin at this point seems to be a bit harder than usual, as it doesn't even seem to make any sort of scratch on you as it goes down on you.
Nice.
Raising as it goes to hit you.
Nice.
Cool. And then that means that Kai, you would be up next. You are on the ground, still laughing hysterically. You can make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is a 14 plus 2, 16?
Yeah. So suddenly, it seems like whatever was happening before seems to no longer come over you, as you seem to gain a bit of clarity as to the situation happening. You are still on the ground, but seem to get a sense of maybe things are a little bit more serious still.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to stand up. Does that take half my movement or all my movement to stand up?
Standing takes up half of your movement, which was already halved. So from the T.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you would be at after half of a half, a quarter of your movement at this point.
So
what you would have,
like 10 feet. Roughly 9, 10, so yeah, a little over 10 feet, or no, less than that. It'd be, I can't.
What's your thing at normally?
35. I don't know if the Zephyr Strike would still be in effect. I don't know if a minute's passed.
you didn't take any damage, so you would technically still have your concentration on that, even though you were wildly laughing. So yeah, you would still have that.
Okay. So I would still have, so it's 4.
So what would that be? 38?
Yeah, roughly 38. Yeah. So I'm going to stand up. So there's 2 of the needle blights and Urlasa, correct?
Yeah, one of the needle blights is missing an arm. One seems completely unharmed.
Okay.
Then one of them, and then Urlasa seems to just be in the back, a bit frightened by everything that's happening.
Okay. I'm going to... I don't know if I need to hit. Hold on one sec. I got to look at this. Read this. Okay, when I hit... Yeah, okay, I can mark it as favored foe. This is the Tasha's version of favored foe. But I have to hit the target first. I didn't know if it would proc before or after making an attack.
For favored foe?
Yeah, the Tasha's version. It's kind of like a... It's like a reduced version of Hunter's Mark. It operates similarly. Here, I'll put it in. But yeah, it says after you hit an enemy, I think.
Yeah, so you would add it once you hit an enemy.
Okay.
Basically adding that 1d4.
Okay. So, having taken the wind out of me from all the laughter, and I'm gonna target Urlasa since I've removed that needle blight in the center, and go ahead and take a strike with the longbow.
Go for it.
Nice.
18.
Yeah, that definitely did. Is that with your
That's 11 plus
advantage from before?
Well, I only get advantage on one strike.
One per turn, or
Let me double check on Zephyr Strike. I think it's only advantage once. You move on. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack. Roll your turn.
okay.
Yeah.
No.
So you still get the
Awesome.
movement and the no
Okay,
opportunity attacks, but you don't get the additional advantage.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage on this.
Okay. And then I would add the D4 on this and mark Urlasa as my favored foe.
Yep.
Okay. That is 6 plus 4, so 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Urlasa's not looking too happy with everything that's happening right now. She was frail to begin with. She seems to be a bit more frail as everything kind of continues here.
Let me eat her.
Done laughing at your old wrinkled behind. Enough of this.
Your old ass.
We'll see who's laughing in just a moment when you're a corpse on the ground.
Or in my stomach.
Ugh. Eat some old lady beef jerky.
Yeah.
If I can land this attack, we'll see what happens.
That means that it would now be her turn again. Okay, so suddenly, as everything's happening, Urlasa's head is just kind of turning in every which direction, and all of a sudden, she actually just vanishes. You have no idea what happened. She was just there 1 minute. The next, she was completely gone. You have no idea if she's still there, if she went to a different dimension, where exactly she is. All that you know is that she is now somewhere where you can't see her within your actual room that you're in currently.
Okay. Alright.
That would be another needle blight attack. This one is also going to turn. Confused now that its master is now gone, but it is turning, goes to try to hit the closest thing to it, which again is going to be the giant frog. Would a, what was that, plus 3? 11 hit.
I have an AC of 11.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so that would hit here.
yeah.
Okay. You're going to take 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
It seems to just try to stick its claws actually into you, as they are almost like thorns more than anything.
Okay. That'll put me at 12 at frog form.
Okay, cool. So it just kind of lunges at you and just kind of pierces your skin.
That hurts.
You would be up. Is this witch from before is now gone, and it seems like two different needle blights are trying to attack you at the same time.
Can I do any sort of check to see if she's still in the room? Any kind of skill check for that? I don't know if that would be perception or arcana, since it's probably like a magical related thing.
Go ahead and make a perception check then.
Okay. 15.
Sorry, what was that?
15.
15. Yeah, so as everything's happening, you do get a sense that there is still movement in the area. Everything's going on, there's a lot of stomping. You still hear the sense of wood from Hurricane previously still hitting the ground. You're not 100% sure of where this is coming from, but you get the sense that she still is in the room.
I can't cast my spells on frog form. Okay. One of the spiky boys was hit, and then one is unhit, right?
Yeah, there's one that seems pretty unfazed at this point, and one of them that is missing an arm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna yell to my team members here. Well,
We're gonna rib it to them.
I'm gonna ribbit. I don't know how they're gonna understand this, Dan. It's gonna, just ribbit, try and make it sound like, hey, he's here. I don't know. I'm just gonna make noises and maybe they'll catch on.
I'm not under the witch's spell anymore. I don't think that's quite as funny as you think it is, Tenach.
I was hoping you'd say that.
And I'm going to try and bite the undamaged one.
Try to bite it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. Come on, baby. 14.
14 hits. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Oh, yes. Nice. Okay.
Munch him! Munch him!
Do it.
Okay, I lost my dice.
He's so excited.
Yeah, I got so excited. I lost my days. No.
What is happening?
5 plus 1, so 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Target is now grappled.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you go ahead and you bite down on this thing. Even though before it was just kind of crumbling, it seems like you just got in enough. Go ahead and still cause a bit of damage, but not enough to where, like its previous counterparts, where it started to crumble. And yeah, this thing is definitely restrained.
Nice. We grab one. Hell yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool.
And escape DC is 11.
An 11 on that. Awesome. Thank you. Cool. That would mean we are now back to Abraxos.
I mean, I'm just trying to think. I mean, I could try. I don't know if Divine Sense would work here against her. I can try it. See if I can like kind of try a pinpoint her. So it's by the let's see. Anything affected by the hollow spell. No location of any celestial, fiend, undead. Well, no, because it's probably not. She's probably not any of those three, so that's not gonna work.
No, she's not.
Yeah. Okay. So never mind. Then that's not gonna work. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. What I'll do is let me ask you this. Is there only one entrance into the house that we're in?
It's like a one sort of cottage area. There is a door that kind of leads to another room that's currently open, but as far as what leads to the outside, yes, there's only one door.
Okay. So I think what I'll do is I'm not gonna go after the dude that Vale's chomping on right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk over to the door that's slightly open, that's not the front door, and I'm gonna just yell out, someone should cover the front door to make sure that she doesn't leave. And then that's what I'll do. That way we try to cover our bases as best we can to make sure that she knows she's invisible, she can't leave.
Good idea.
Yeah, so you're gonna move just to the other side of the door. Would take an attack of opportunity against one of the needle blights.
Okay.
We're gonna do that.
That's fine. Yeah, go for it.
Cool, awesome.
You don't
It's not gonna
care.
hit. It doesn't fucking matter. So thing suddenly tries to swing behind as it's still trying to attack a frog, and it just can't even do anything to you. It's just kind of like just wildly kind of swinging behind itself. As one is just kind of flailing uncontrollably as well. Cool. So we. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask. Well, since that happened, would there be any sort of indicators? Like, I don't, because we're scrapping, we're fighting. Things may be flying around, some dust may be getting kicked up. Would I perchance roll a? I'm trying to think what I would roll. Might be investigation. Oh no, my investigation is terrible. Like
You
to
can
try to
still
see if
roll
like
it.
I can. It's -1. I'm trying to do the best thing. Like if I can see like there's any like footprints of where she like is walking or trying to hide.
It's smart enough. I'll go ahead and allow it.
What do you want me to roll? You want me to roll investigation?
Yeah, do an investigation check and hope for the best.
Hell yeah! Here we go. The dumbass paladin. Let's see what happens.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. 7. Trash.
Ouch.
Yeah, so
Listen, I punch things. I'm not good at looking at things.
you You know your strengths and you know your weaknesses, and while you took out a bear, you are not so great when it comes to actually seeing anything else.
Not at
Like
all.
you said, dust and everything is kind of kicking up, so you don't actually get to see any sort of footprints or anything that's happening, as it's just kind of a scuffle and people are shuffling their feet, trying to get into the best offensive positions.
All right. Perfect shot. All right. So then I'll just move to that side door that we were talking about, and then that's it. I'm good.
Cool. Some Foghorn. Everything's still going on. You don't know where this witch is, but you have one person that's screaming out to you to cover a door, another that's just making all sorts of amphibious noises at this point. Well,
Ribbit.
Okay, so kind of playing off of the dust/footprint idea, is there a tablecloth on the table?
Oh.
yeah, there would be some sort on the actual table itself. She's an old woman. Tablecloth and doilies are definitely something that is accompanied by tea.
Okay.
Fair.
So my idea is, since I can fly, grab the tablecloth, go, I know it's not a high ceiling, but go up to the ceiling, and making an educated guess where she would be, throwing it in that direction so we could potentially see her. And it could, I mean, I wouldn't expect it to totally like wrap her up, but make her movement somewhat inhibited.
Shit, yeah, we can definitely do this.
Okay.
You are just kind of throwing it generally where
Like where I'm hearing the cane
you might
tapping.
expect it happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with a perception check just to see if you can get a general idea amongst all the fighting where this is happening, where like pinging of the cane or whatever we want to say.
I'm gonna use the inspiration I have because that was not a good roll, and it was worth it. 17.
Oh wow! I forgot I have inspiration still too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that as
okay.
well.
I wasn't even. I didn't want to use it anyway.
If I had failed
Yeah,
that
that's
second
like-
wisdom check, I was gonna reuse it.
Makes sense.
I did not want to be sitting there laughing the whole time.
Cool. Yeah, so you definitely get a really good idea of where this is coming from. And it seemed like from where Urlessa was, that she seemed to try to go around, away from the frog, and kind of down towards the top part, and then is kind of making her way down closer towards the front entrance. Well, since you're throwing something at someone, we'll go ahead, use a regular attack. Let's make an attack roll.
Natural 19.
Okay. Yeah, so suddenly, in almost a comical sense, throw this nice little tablecloth onto her, and suddenly there's a bit of like a checkered pattern ghost-like figure kind of walking throughout the rest of the room as you have a great idea of where she actually is at this point, as she can no longer see where she's going. Let's leave it at that. She is still invisible, but you have a really good idea of where she is.
Okay.
Want to do anything else here, ODB?
No. I mean, I have only some move left. Is somebody blocking the front door? I know Abraxos said to, but did any of us actually go over there to do so?
I don't think anyone's had an opportunity to quite yet.
Then I will do that.
Ooh. So you have more than enough movement. You make your way up, and you're kind of barricading the door at this point.
Cool.
Awesome. That means it would be the Needleblade's turn, and it's going to try to escape the grasp of the frog, and it fails miserably in the process. It's trying to thrash all around, trying to make its way out of your mouth, and it's not making any sort of chance of getting out. Seems like that you have fully still restrained this thing.
Nice. Love to hear it.
So it's now going to be this now ghostly checkerboard patterned witch's turn, as she is now completely freaked out by everything that's happening, even though she's still invisible. She is going to make a last-ditch effort here. So, you don't see it happening underneath the tablecloth. You do see a sudden red light kind of shine from underneath it, and something kind of hits the ground. I have to do some rolls here.
What kind of rolls?
What a shitty
Egg rolls,
fucking...
pizza rolls.
Could have been anything. I rolled 5d8 and I got a 17 on it. Shit. Okay. So she went go ahead and cast sleep. The process to try to just knock out whoever she could, in order to go ahead and hopefully make some sort of escape in the process. During that, she is no longer invisible, and suddenly you see some legs kind of on the ground here. In the process, she suddenly just kind of tips over comically, almost like in a cartoon. Seems like she is actually knocked out unconscious at this point, as she no longer has any sort of movement. During that process, ODB, you would then end up taking 16 points to your HP. Would that knock you out at all?
I have 1.
Have 1.
I have 17 total.
Yeah, so you start to kind of feel a bit woozy. However, it doesn't seem like it would knock you completely off of your feet here. But suddenly it seems like that this witch that was trying to make her way out of the actual cabin itself is now just kind of on the ground covered in a gingham cloth. That means that now... Oh shit, I actually skipped you, Kai. You were up for that.
Oh, before that? Before she made the sleep?
Yeah, before this would have happened. Sorry, yes.
Kill her. Don't let her put me to sleep.
So revert back. She's now still a tablecloth.
What a great sound effect. So she still has the tablecloth on her head, correct?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. Before she can make any other movement, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark. So she is not getting away this time. So that way, if she tries to escape, I can find her easily. So on top of the favored foe, so she's now going to take